Good morning, everybody. I gotta decide what I'm doing here. Well, I know what I'm doing, but I gotta decide what order I want to do it in. It's Monday, and I'll tell you right now, this is my first vlogging attempt. Jennifer asked me to do a little work with Warren kind of videos. It's about 6:15 in the morning. We got some really nice rain last night. See, I gotta watch the camera here or I can't see where I'm at. Tell you what, I'm gonna turn this down and I'm gonna turn the camera around and you're just gonna follow along with me. All right, let's do that. Boots are on, we're heading out. First day of summer and it's cold. It's supposed to be a high of 60 today. They're actually talking frost tonight, which is just crazy. I mean, normally frost season is ending right now. It's just gonna be a one night thing where it's gonna freeze tonight potentially, and then we're gonna get some warm up. But we got some glorious rain last night, so I did not have to get up at 4 a.m. to irrigate. There's our beehives over here. And you're wondering, why do you get up at 4 a.m. to irrigate? Well, here's the deal. I like to irrigate in the morning so that the vines do not stay wet long, to reduce any incidence of fungus developing. And with the bees, you want as much pollination as possible. Well, when the sprinklers are going, the bees do not want to pollinate. So I get up early, get the sprinklers going. We're gonna check the rain gauge here, see what we got. Okay, let's see. Can you see that? I don't know. There we go. Looks like we got 4/10 of an inch. That's perfect. Great rainfall. Rain is always better than irrigation. I get up at 4 to irrigate. Usually run 2 to 2.5 hours. The sprinkler system puts on about 1/10 of an inch an hour. My goal is to put on 2/10 to 1/4 inch, and I do it early in the morning so that when I shut the sprinklers off 2.5 hours later, the bees have the rest of the day to pollinate. Today we have all kinds of things on our list. We have to finish mowing some dike tops. We have to check of our moth traps. I actually monitor pests with moth traps. I trap black-headed fireworm. And I tell you right now, I've only had 1 cup of coffee so far this morning, so if I seem kind of dry and boring, I need coffee. If you look out in the cranberry bed, you can see little white moth traps. There's 3 of them. One is black-headed fireworm, one is cranberry fruitworm, and one is sparganothus fruitworm. Each trap has a pheromone lure in it, and I trap moths, and then I chart the moth flight. And that's how I determine when to put on my insecticide. About 10 to 14 days after peak moth flight is when I'm putting down my insecticide, and it controls the worms. There's a lot of pests that go after cranberries. First off, we got to fire up the John Deere. We got to get some dike tops mowed. One other major thing is we have to run fuel to our irrigation engines. Each engine has a 250-gallon tank. I can run, depending on how much frost or irrigation, I can run about a week, but since we have the potential for frost, I have to make sure every tank is full. Here's our 6115. Let's see, gotta check the oil here. How are we doing? Looks good. Here's our mower. This mows the dike tops. It's a 7-footer. Driveline got greased last Friday, so it should be ready to go. It's windy today, man. Tell you what, feels like I should be in a tree stand somewhere with a bow in my hand, but it's summer, I guess. Fire this puppy up. All right, we're gonna let it warm up a little bit. This is probably the most comfortable tractor I own. It's got air conditioning, yes indeed. Cup holder with hitch pins in it. That makes sense. Got my coffee can of playlist down here. What are we looking at? If it's early morning and you're half asleep, you got Metallica. Usually I listen to talk radio. Bringing up the mower. That sounds funny. I don't remember hearing that sound before. Might be just because it's cold. Well, I found what that funny noise was. The joystick was just a little bit engaged yet, so I did a little bit of that and the sound went away. So that's always a good thing when You can make the sounds go away. I had the sprayer break down last week, and that took a day and a half to get that rebuilt and repaired, and so that really kind of shot a hole in my whole work week plan. But the sprayer is now repaired and working better than ever, so it's a win. It's not just cosmetic to mow the dikes. You have to knock down the weeds on the dikes because they will seed into your cranberry beds, and with the wind like we have today, if you don't take care of those weeds with the mower, it's going to be really hard to control the weeds in your cranberry beds. So, but I do say it does look nice when you're all done. Got some dozer work I got to do here at the end of the week. All these ditchings have to be bulldozed down, and I don't know if you can see it, but east end of this these beds here, I have to reshape that whole end because we have to be able to swing semi-trailers through here this fall for harvest. And I'll tell you what, the way it is right now, that will not happen. Got some really nice bloom out there, looking good. Here's our new bed. It's been a long road to get this built and planted, but I tell you what, it sure is satisfying to see it growing. I'm going to stop right here and give you a look. I know what you're thinking. You're like, that looks dead. It's not dead. It's growing. It's growing quite a bit, actually. So if you look, this is all new growth. See the green, little tinge of red? These vines are all growing. See that shoot there? See it? Look at this. It's got two little uprights on it. That is a maple tree. Maple trees are one of my worst weeds because they are the toughest tree, the hardest thing to kill, the hardest thing to pull. If you get them at this size, they come right out. This week we'll start ramping up the fertilizer on them and really get them to fill in, and I'm hoping by the end of the summer this is a full carpet of vines. I'm going to give a shout out to all the people that helped plant this bed. I could not have done it without their help. In fact, I'd probably still be planting by myself if I was all alone. Alright guys, I'm back. Battery died on the camera. I had to run up to the house. Jennifer was at her desk working, and I just said, hey, battery died. I need help. I'm not a blogger. Jennifer encouraged me to try this, so I said I'll give it a shot. I don't know if anyone really is that interested in what I do. I don't do things like every other grower. I feel like I do it like no other grower. I always say, it's not how much you make, it's how much you get to keep. We've been able to make it, and I guess that speaks for itself. Putting the mower down, engaging the PTO, making sure our water temp is where it needs to be. Engaging the mower. Gotta make sure I'm in the right range. There we go. Alright, we're at PTO speed. Got my height set. Alright, we are mowing. Look at that beautiful cranberry bed out there. I'm gonna have to shut this camera off because I cannot run the mower and vlog at the same time. It's 25 after 8. I came in at 8 o'clock. Jennifer and I had some eggs for breakfast together. Had a little 20-minute breakfast. Just kind of connect a little bit at the start of the day, and back to the tractor, back to mowing dikes. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, still mowing dikes. Picked up this ramp here. It's one of my harvest ramps that we use during planting to get the tractor in and out of the bed. I got to move it to bed 4 to use it as a temporary fertilizer ramp until I can redo that bed. So we're going to jump out in the new bed here because I got a few dark spots that I'm a little worried about that don't seem to be taking quite as fast as the rest of the bed, so we're just going to take a look, see if everything's growing, see if there's anything I need to change. You see that? All kinds of new growth coming. That's what we want. I don't like walking on vines, but I have to come out and just check things. It looks a little dark over here, like things aren't taking off. So we're just going to take a look, see. You can see this is most likely where there was a pile of vines and they were a little too thick, so they didn't all get pushed in. But I'm looking, yeah, they're growing. They're not, in this spot, they're not growing super well. We're going to lose a few of these vines that didn't get pushed in far enough. But overall, I think we're okay. I guess I'm okay with this. You know, you just do a lot of praying that the bed grows, praying that you did things right. You know, you got to have a strong faith in God if you're a farmer, because you rely on Him every day. Boy, is it windy today. So we got I gotta get the lighting right. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, so there's the ramp. I just unloaded it off the forks. This is bed 4. I had to fill in this corner when we switched to semi-trailers so I could actually swing the corner with my semis. So there's no ditch here. This is the fertilizer run, and I've been putting the ramp here the last couple of years because this bed is on the chopping block. It will get renovated. It's a Lemunions variety, which is okay, but not great. And I have some newer varieties that are much better. This won't actually get renovated this year. This will be in 2 years. I'm heading back to the north side of the marsh to do more mowing, wrap that up. If you have any questions for me about what I do, why I do it, go to Jennifer's community tab and leave a comment. She'll give me the question and I'll answer it the best I can. It is a year-round job. There is no time where you're doing nothing. You do not just watch them grow. That never happens. It's one of those jobs where it's really satisfying, but it's scary all at the same time, because every year you put everything at risk. You're at the risk of the weather. Every time a thunderstorm blows up, it could be a hailstorm. You could lose it all in one shot. I'm just trying to tell you the way it is. Jennifer tells me I'm awfully serious on camera, but hey, I'm not playing in the sandbox. Making passes here along the fence, finishing up this north end of the marsh. Yesterday was Father's Day, so I just wanted to put a shout out to my dad. He passed away in 2013. We didn't always see eye to eye, but you know, he gave me an opportunity here. I miss him. When I came onto the farm, we worked together 5 years. Jennifer and I had to pay fair market value for it. When he finally turned over the reins to me, he's like, I'm here if you have a question, but it's your baby. You make it go. I was excited and scared all at the same time, and I mean, we've made it work. The fact that I do have to work for it makes me value it a little more. I just want to thank my dad, because he put his whole life into this farm, and I'm trying to keep it going. Still mowing. This is like a NASCAR race at 3 miles an hour. Oh, I take that back, 2.5 miles an hour. You just keep turning left. I don't have any stickers on my tractor, so I don't know what my NASCAR number would be. I don't know why I'm upside down here. You see me? There I go. Alright, is that better? Maybe? You know, I usually don't talk this much at work, because I work alone. By the time I get in tonight, I'll be all out of words. When Jennifer asked me to do this, I'm like, I'm not a blogger. And then I'm like, you know, if there's any other cranberry growers watching this, they're going to see how I do things and think I'm crazy. But then I realized, you know what? At 48 years old, I don't give a crap what other people think. So this is how I do it. And it's worked really well for over 25 years. I'm not a cameraman. I'm still mowing, by the way, in case you were wondering. Still mowing. Yeah. Now I'm upside down again. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I'm upside down. But just wanted to say, still mowing. I'm on the west end of the marsh here. Here, let me go over here. Still mowing. Alright, I'm on the south end of the marsh. Still mowing. Is that right side up? Is that upside down? I don't know. So we're gonna check moth traps here. Finished lunch. I mowed till noon, and we are going to check and see what our moth flight is doing. We're out in the bed here. We have these pheromone traps. There's one there, there's one, two. This one here is a black-headed fireworm pheromone trap. We have cranberry fruitworm down the way, and beyond that is Sparganothus fruitworm. And basically what we're doing here is trapping the moths, counting them, and charting for peak flight. Once we determine peak flight, we spray 10 to 14 days after peak flight. Cranberry fruitworm that are showing up, and we got some Sparganothus fruitworm that are showing up. We're still counting. We're not close to spraying yet, but we're definitely keeping track. Got my work truck. You know, it's one of them new Fords with the aluminum bodies. No, it's not. It's a good runner. It's been with me since 2004. We're checking moth traps, but we have to stop off here and set a thermometer. It's gonna freeze tonight. So what we have to do is set it so we can monitor the coldest temp. There's a little marker that will register the coldest temp for the night. So that way, as it's getting cold, I can monitor when to start the irrigation. And we also have an alarm in the house. There's our wireless frost alarm right there. This is what happens to a cranberry bed when you don't flood it and you don't put in any irrigation. It looks half dead. Yet the maple trees are nice and green. Go figure. But this is bed 6. This is the bed that will be renovated this summer, and we will replant it next spring. I'm kind of figuring out this camera a little bit. I guess I gotta hold my hand here, otherwise it flips upside down. I don't know. So I told Jennifer this morning she needed a new camera, and she got a little feisty. I don't know. I guess I gotta work on my delivery. Come over here. There's a cranberry bed taken care of, nice and lush, in full bloom. Looks really different. Destroyed cranberry bed, production cranberry bed. Here's where we mowed vines this spring. And you can see the cranberry bed is growing back. That's what happens. There won't be any crop here this fall. Starting next year, this will crop again. Just the fact that the roots were in the ground, they just shoot new vines and start growing all over again. Still has a ways to go yet. Still some flowers yet to open. Boy, can this truck get any more rattly? Jeez. Sounds like the door's gonna come off. Here's bed 10. We renovated this one last year. I think Jennifer has a video on planting day for this cranberry bed, but this is just 1 year in, and it's already filling in to be quite a carpet of vines. So we have some more thermometers to set, and we have some more moth traps to check. All right, we got those checked and replaced. Everything's progressing as it should. Bees are working. I haven't gotten stung yet, that's a good thing. There's a girdler trap right there. We'll go take care of it. It's gonna freeze tonight, so we have to make sure we got enough fuel. That cannot be good. Pretty sure that tachometer is broken. All right, there we go. Need to check the oil. Looks good. So I just opened up that valve so we can run the bigger engine tonight since we're running all the acres. And then I shut that valve off there. This is a little bit smaller engine, it's the backup. I can run everything but not quite at full pressure, so it's my backup. And then when I'm just running the dry spots and the expansion, I'll run that engine. But since tonight it's going to get cold, we need full pressure on all acres. We're going to run the big one. Round 2, second tank fill off the bulk tank. Fill in the last of the engines. This is the pump house we lost in the reservoir a few years ago after a nasty storm. We were able to resurrect it. So we got to spin some valves here. I had a bunch of the irrigation lines turned off because I was just watering a few dry spots. Oh, I see fruit already. Look at that there. I see 3 berries developing. We gotta open this valve up. We got the dike tops all mowed, so we have to take this mower off. Looks like I need to pull ahead just a hair. That wheel is a little too close to the ditch. The mower came off just like I needed it to. Now we have to put the ditch bank mower on, which that is a chore. But what are you gonna do? Gotta do it. Welcome back to A Country Life. I just had to go swap out the battery on the camera. Obviously I've been running it too long today. We have the mower off of the John Deere. Now we have to move a bunch of equipment out of the shed, which I call my jigsaw puzzle, because we have to get back to the ditch bank mower, and we have to mount that on the back of the John Deere so we can mow the ditch banks. So let's get started here. So I'll set the camera up and you can just watch me pull stuff out. This orange beast is the ditch bank mower. Alright, well just trust me, there's 2 big blades. Maybe you see it, I don't know. There's 2 big blades here. And looks like I'm gonna have to sharpen them. Yeah. So this goes on the back of the John Deere. It's usually a pain in the rear to put on. Where can I set this camera? Is it too far away over here? Yeah, it's kind of a far shot. Lighting's wrong. Okay. You know, I knew vlogging was not easy. Don't get me wrong. I am not a vlogger. I'm just saying, I'm not. This is kind of out of my comfort zone. What I'm saying is I'm trying to do the best I can here. There's a bucket. Maybe I can use that bucket for something. Let's try this. All right. I think that might actually work. Putting this on is a real bugger. I don't think it's ever gone on that well in my life. So I don't know if it's the camera or if it's the fact that I didn't use any cuss words this time. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it's on. We can lift it out of here, and we just got to hook up the hydraulics, grease it, check it over, sharpen the blades. We'll be ready to mow again. Okay, it looks like Joseph thinks it's quitting time. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Brought me a cold snack.
Yep.
Thanks, buddy. That's gonna go right here because it's not quite quitting time yet, but that will be, that's a 5 o'clock cold snack right there. Jeez. Should be good, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Think that'll work?
Yep.
The mower's on, all the fluids are checked, everything's greased, blades are sharpened. Thanks for coming along with me today. My day's not done because it's going to freeze tonight. I think it's almost 5 o'clock here, so I'm going to have a cold snack that Joe brought me. We'll see you later. Bye.